What's up, y'all? It's your boy Sean P back again with another edition of Hip Hop Roundtable Reviews. Again, I'm joined by my esteemed YouTube superstar, funeral man,
Yeah,
from Torture Chamber.
yeah,
That's right. Now over what is it? 15,400 now? Is it?
yeah, something like that.
Okay.
Something like that.
Moving up, man.
Yeah.
Like
I'm trying.
definitely
I'm trying.
props to your success in the YouTube game. Definitely, man. We all looking up to you, man. So
I
definitely
appreciate
props to
I
that.
appreciate it.
Um we're catching up, and 2025 has gotten off to somewhat of a hot start. A lot of topics going on, a lot of
Yeah.
new music that's come out. Of course, we got the Kendrick Super Bowl performance on Sunday, you know. Um, so with that, of course, we're going back to the controversy that ended last year of uh the Super Bowl being in New Orleans. Of course, Lil Wayne not performing at the Super Bowl, and uh all of that drama behind that. There was a lot of hoopla going on, and Lil Wayne came out with a little announcement the other day saying, "I got a big surprise for you guys." So the surprise dropped today, and that is that the Carter 6 is dropping on June 6th. So Lil Wayne's new announcement or big surprise is that he's dropping a new album. And not only that, I think there's going to be a Super Bowl commercial um, dedicated to this where he's going to announce the album too. So they gave him a whole spot at the Super Bowl to announce this Carter 6. I guess this is his grand consolation prize for not performing in New Orleans. But either way, he's coming out. Drake has announced that he's dropping on Valentine's Day, which is next week, next Friday. And he just announced today that Drake is coming out with another solo album, maybe with no features, and that he's got a lot of things to get off his chest, if you will. It's more of going to be a confessional album. So I just want to get your take on this. First, the timing of all of these albums coming out right after the Super Bowl performance. Before we get into what do these albums really mean and our expectations and all that, let's just talk about it. Isn't the timing curious for all of this?
All right, so I definitely think that the timing is kind of weird that they would do this. I don't know if they're directly doing this to go against Kendrick. I have no idea. I don't know if this is to slight Kendrick. I don't know. All I know is the Grammys came and went. Kendrick dominated. Super Bowl coming. You know that this is Kendrick's week of the Super Bowl, but your focus is to say you got an album coming out. You couldn't wait for that.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't have waited to say after the Super Bowl that you were dropping the album in June. Why do you need to say it now? It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, what's the point? All right, let's be honest here. Nobody cares if Lil Wayne's dropping the Carter 6. That's just my opinion.
This is great.
Nobody cares. Who really cares that the Carter 6 is coming out? Nobody cares.
Man.
I see people requesting the Carter 6. I really don't. So him announcing it is, to me, is kind of a slight to Kendrick. I'm just taking it that because Kendrick has a Super Bowl coming up, and you knew, me personally, I don't know if this is factual, but I feel like you knew that Kendrick Lamar was going to be doing the interview today. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. I never even thought about that because the interview was today. And right after
today.
that, here comes the news
You
about Carter.
announced that you got it. Like, the thing is, like, I put it to you like this: if he would have had engaged with Kendrick, I could understand why he would have had did this. I could be like, yeah, they went back and forth with each other. I wouldn't even have cared. I'd have been like, yeah, he's supposed to do that. You're supposed to try to step on because y'all engaged. But if you saying, nah, I told him to go kill it, I talked to him on the phone. I said, go kill it. I mean, I said, do this and that. But yet and still, the day he has an interview about it, you trying to kind of step on it by saying the Carter 6 is coming out. When no one asked for the Carter 6, nobody's asking for that album. Who's asking for the Carter 6? Like, for real. Like,
Oh man,
I don't see we need a new Lil Wayne album. So
I'll start with Wayne, man. I absolutely think this is a political move by Wayne because Wayne again is trying to. And I'll tell you what, I've learned one thing about these YCMB affiliates, YCMB, ex-label mates, Drake, Wayne, Nicki, all of them. They know how to play victim like nobody's business, boy. Oh my
oh
God.
my
They play
God.
the victim role like, oh my God, like they play the victim role like a a college girl in a horror movie. Like no lie, man. Like they
Yeah.
know how to do this because this absolutely is a ploy to get attention back on him. Number one, for not performing at the Super Bowl, to keep that conversation going, like, oh, but he's not performing, but he's dropping the Carter 6. It's finally coming. Because this is an anticipated album, at least by Wayne fan standards, because they've been waiting. The Carter series has an aura to it, if you will. You know what I mean? From Carter 1, Carter 2. We all know that. We'll get into what we think the Carter 6 is going to be, but this absolutely is a way to get the conversation back on him about, Kendrick might be performing. I get it, but really, Wayne should have been there. But the Carter 6, his album is coming, and I wonder if Wayne is going to talk about it on the Carter 6. So this totally is a political ploy by Wayne. And I'm tired of this passive aggressiveness. He went on Skip Bayless and said he really didn't hear the song Whacked Out Murals. Then on top of that, he said he really doesn't have a problem. He talked to Kendrick. And see, here's the whole thing about it. He could have talked to Kendrick way before this Super Bowl thing even came about. You know what I mean? We don't know when he talked to Kendrick. So there's a whole cloud of mystery around that. And on top of that, you got back to the Twitter meme that he said, talk about, y'all don't want it with me. Y'all better let me rest or what have you. Let this giant sleep and all that. So it's like, it's such passive aggressive energy. And then you coming out on the day Kendrick has his interview, right? I mean, 3 days before the Super Bowl performance, coming out to say, oh, I got a surprise for y'all. Carter 6 is finally dropping. Like, come on, man.
I think it's such a lame way of announcing the album. You know what I'm saying? Because you could have literally waited. What's the point of you telling people now? Like the album ain't coming out until June, right? You said June, right? So this ain't a movie trailer. Like you could have literally waited for that. You could honestly, I could see. All right, I'll put it to you like this. And like you said, he have something, a trailer coming up for the Super Bowl, an announcement for the album. Even with that, I find a lot of this real weird. I find a lot of this real weird that he would do that now. And Drake is another story, and we'll talk about him in a second. But
Yeah.
I find it real weird that Wayne would do something like this. And then on top of that, what is your point of you not being in your own city during the Super Bowl? Wayne is a super football fanatic. I swore I seen him on ESPN a couple of times as
Oh
an
no, he's
announcer.
on NFL Network all the time, bro. Oh yeah,
That's
he's
what I'm
on like
saying.
every Sunday. Yeah.
So you're not there because you're not there. Let's be honest. You're not there because you're still in your feelings. That's what this is
I
all
think
about.
he is,
There's
bro.
no way in the world you are
Absolutely in
not
his
at the Super
feelings,
Bowl
bro.
in your city.
He
Like,
absolutely
come
in
on,
his
bro.
feelings, man. And it's it's a low-key petty move. Because first of all, Carter 6 has been anticipated for like 3-4 years now. You know, you could have waited any time. You could have waited literally Memorial Day weekend, maybe not even that, but maybe a month before June 6th to say I'm dropping, or just drop it. You're big enough of an artist to just drop it on June 6th.
Mhm.
But you have to start your rollout literally 3 days before the Super Bowl and say during the Super Bowl you're gonna have an ad that's gonna kind of announce the album coming out. Come on,
You never
man.
did this before. You never
Yeah.
did this before.
Oh yeah.
You never did this before.
It's
But
petty.
now you're doing it now?
Oh, okay. It's
Like,
petty.
what
It's
are we
petty.
talking about here?
It's
It's
petty,
it- it's
bro.
it's I don't know, man.
And
So
it's
now as
like,
far as
yeah. Not
no, I
Drake.
was gonna say, go ahead.
Yeah, you're probably gonna get
Yeah,
to
I was gonna
Drake,
say,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I'll be honest with you, man. I am not thrilled to hear no Party Next Door and Drake album. Not at all. And we can get into that. I'm really not thrilled to hear that album. And I'm gonna tell you why. The reason
Yeah.
why I think that is because first of all, it's called Some Sexy Songs for You.
Sexy songs for you. Yeah.
That's the name of the album. Some
Mm-hmm.
sexy songs for you,
Mm-hmm.
bruh. like what like I don't know. Or maybe he's doing it because it's Valentine's Day. I don't know. But the song I did hear from them, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I heard the first song that's on there. I didn't hear Drake's part of it. I'm sure he's gonna rap, but I didn't like the song. I just thought it was just, I don't know. It just sounded weird to me. And on top of that, I like Party Next Door, but I really don't think he's got good music like that. Me personally, I don't think that he has
All right.
like music, you know what I'm saying? To the point where it's like, I don't know. I just don't think his music is really that great. You know what I'm saying? He's okay, but he's not like, to me, that he doesn't have standout
He's
music.
not. I agree. He's not next level. You know what I mean? He's the
He's
biggest
not.
OVO artist besides Drake, but I get what you're saying.
And he's just been doing the same thing. He's been doing the same thing that he's been doing since he's been on the label. And it's like, when are y'all gonna grow up? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get into Drake. Go ahead.
Yeah, he kind of gets lost. Party Next Door kind of gets lost in the shuffle of these, I don't know, these melodic rapper slash singer type dudes. These kind of mashup dudes, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, like a Bryson Tiller type guy, or one of those, or what's his name, Six Lack, some of these trap type guys, trap soul type guys, right? But I don't think he's as talented as they are. But because of the Drake spotlight and he's OVO, he gets a little bit of shine on him, and of course he's on Drake project. So there's that. But I do think with Drake, I don't know. I think he's just waiting. The reason why he's waiting for the week after the Super Bowl is because finally by that time, the whole Not Like Us, he's hoping, okay, he got out his performance. He got all of that out. Now it's time to get back to business now. We got that all out. and it's on Valentine's Day, you know, which kind of has a play on the ladies or what have you. So I actually think the Party Next Door album is kind of a good way for Drake to kind of get his way back going again. Because the thing about him is he's going at his core fan base. Let's be honest. Drake is about the ladies. The ladies was there from Best I Ever Had, his first single, and he's going right to the ladies and that fan base because it's kind of like, you know, Nicki and the Barbs. Like they kind of not going to leave him unless when he's talking to them. They're not going to care. And I think it's actually a smart move for him to put out something for the ladies first. You know what I mean? And it's going to get some momentum. It's going to get some songs on the radio, all of that. It's kind of his way to creep his way back into the game, but it's not the comeback moment that we're all waiting for Drake. It's only going to get him maybe a little bit of shine, but it's not going to get him all the way back to where he was before the beef started.
Yeah. I agree with you to a certain extent. I definitely think he's using Party because of
you know it.
Because of the lawsuit that's going on. And
oh yeah, that too.
I think he's going to drop the lawsuit after the Super Bowl. Me personally, I think he's going to drop it. He has no case, but that's another story.
Well, let's go back to that because of the lawsuit. So he dropped the streaming one about Not Like Us, apparently, because he just did discovery on that to see what he had. But now, from what I understand, it's a defamation lawsuit because of Not Like Us.
And he's not going after Kendrick for defamation. He's going after the label.
The label for defamation. That's right. He's going after the defamation because it hasn't been proven that he's you know, PDF or what have you, right? But here's the deal about that. They're gonna perform the song anyway. It was a full court press to stop them, tied up in legalities to get it stopped playing at the Super Bowl, right? But what they didn't say is Kendrick, number one, doesn't have to perform it. But number two, Kendrick can edit that out. He could just edit the thing out, which is what I think he's gonna do. You know what I mean? He'll edit, huh?
I don't think he's gonna do it.
Well, we'll see.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'll tell you why, but go ahead. I'll tell you why.
He could edit the lyrics out. But there's so many things. All right, put it like this. Let's agree on one thing. There's so many things Kendrick can do to get around that. So, and then he's going to drop the lawsuit because he's going to be like, well, he didn't perform it anyway. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's the main reason with that. But the thing about it is it's a good way to start getting his way back in the good graces of female audiences. But he is absolutely using Party Next Door. There's no question about that. and listen to this, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be Party Next Door's biggest album, guaranteed.
Yeah.
And it's all because we all want to hear, well, I wonder what Drake's going to do.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying is going to be a letdown, number one. I'm going to say this. I think that he's definitely going to do the whole song. I don't think he's going to do the whole song, but he's going to do the song. And the reason why
absolutely it's getting played.
But I'm saying the reason why I'm saying he's going to do all of those parts is because they did it at the Grammys. They played it at the Grammys. They literally was saying A minor. The whole crowd said A minor. They played that part. The whole part was, hey, Drake, I hear you like I'm young. And everybody was saying it. Taylor Swift to Beyonce to Blue Ivy, Jay-Z, and even Dr. Dre and the guy.
Okay, can we agree? Can you agree like the certified PDF? I think that might get out. I don't know about the A minor part.
I don't know. I'm gonna say,
Because you
I'm gonna
could get
say,
around and say, I heard, you could
yeah,
get around with him saying, I heard you like him young, um, and get around that because that could just be like, oh, you like girls younger
yeah,
than you,
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah, yeah,
And the A minor thing, that you could even get around that because that's a
yeah,
double entendre. So, but the PD started calling out PDF. I don't think we're doing that at the Super Bowl. Grammy is a little bit different. You know
yeah,
what I mean? That's a different audience, and they protected by a whole bunch of different codes or what have you. I mean, remember that's the same audience that had Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B doing some acts on stage. Remember that?
yeah,
So that's a little
yeah,
different audience. Like
yeah,
they couldn't. Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi couldn't pull that off at the Super Bowl. I don't think the
yeah,
NFL is going to have that. So, but I do think he's performing the song. They will
yeah,
find their way around that. But back to the lecture at hand here. Drake is absolutely using Party for this and trying to help think the smoke will clear a little bit for Valentine's Day so he could get somewhat moving again. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Now back to this topic now. Let's talk about the rap album for Drake. So Drake
Mm,
also came out and said that he's dropping a solo album this year. Apparently, there are going to be no features on this.
mm,
And apparently, he said he's going to address a lot of things that was said on here. Basically, he's insinuating I'm going to rap. You know what I mean? And
mm.
I'm going to address a lot of things, address some people. He's going to make a confessional album. You know what I mean? Now, we now I didn't even report on it, but I heard the LeBron James, sympathy song, sympathy freestyle or what have you,
Yeah,
or whatever, I call it the simp freestyle. It's like, dude, why are you complaining about your friendship about this dude? Because a dude not like us. Like, get the fuck out of here, right?
yeah.
So does this and see this is the thing that I have with Drake because I like what is it, 6 a.m. in Toronto, 4 p.m. in Calabasas. Like the
Mm.
confessional Drake, the emo Drake is a good version of Drake. But at this point, do we really need a confessional album from Drake? Is that gonna work?
I'm gonna say this: pressure bust pipes, and he has a lot of pressure on him right now.
Mm-hmm.
Either he's gonna fold or he's gonna come out with a diamond. Because number one, Kendrick Lamar has put you in a position where you gotta fight. There's nothing you can do. You can try to mask it with Party Next Door. You have to fight him. He even told you that. That whole album is basically telling Drake, squabble up. Like, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even when in the interview, when you watch the interview, he literally said that in the interview. He said he said the reason why he did what he did is because he felt like hip hop was basically stale. So he had to battle. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I had to battle because I felt like for most of Kendrick's career, he's been doing this. He's been like, yeah, I'm gonna prove to y'all that I'm better than y'all, but it's in the spirit of competition, not nothing serious. Let's just go. He feels like he likes that competition. I think Drake, he has nowhere to run to. He can't run to his hits. You can't run to awards. You have to run to the pen. And you have to try to beat him in that way. You can't run no more. And I think that when he's saying he gonna address everything, I think when he heard GNX, he said, all right, Kendrick, I hear you loud and clear. I'm gonna have to address you now. And I'll be honest with you, I'm more interested in hearing a solo Drake album with no features and him just with a producer.
Uh-huh.
I'm telling you, if it's all rap, it's gonna be classic. I'm
I'm
just going.
hearing there was a rumor that it's going to be Conductor Williams of our
Yeah,
Griselda fame,
yeah,
and that he's got a whole album with him. And I'm gonna be honest with you, with that, I'm interested.
yeah. I'm
I
very
want to
interested.
hear this.
I'm very interested
I'm
because
interested.
we never gotten an entire. Well, I mean, her loss, I can say that was mostly an entire rap album, but Drake's solo rap album, just a complete rap album, with different hooks and different raps. Yeah, I want to see how this plays out. I'm more interested in that. And I think that most people are going to go into this Party Next Door album believing that Drake is going to address Kendrick, and they're going to be disappointed. I'm going to tell you right now. They're going to be disappointed. I don't
But
think.
I know the move. I see the angle. I know why
Yeah.
he's going with Party. It's a safe move.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
a safe move.
Oh, yeah.
And to be honest with you, I think now Drake needs a safe move. I
Yeah.
mean, he is just looking back, and he needs to drop the lawsuit. You know,
Yeah.
after the Super Bowl, I agree with you. They're gonna perform it, and then he's gonna say, "All right, what am I fighting here?" You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
they already performed it out there. It's already out there. It's already everywhere. It's the anthem of really 2 years now, going into 2025. What am I going to do? So you
Mm-hmm.
just got to go back and make music. So that's where I think the start is going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's
I
my thing.
definitely think that. I
Here's
definitely
my
think
thing.
that.
So, well, we'll stay on Drake, right? Because this is what Kendrick's going to do. First of all, the Super Bowl is just a launch point, because then he's going to go on tour. You know what I mean? Tour is going to be in full swing come this time when after the Party and Drake album drop, and whenever Drake drops his other solo album, right? Um, do can anything Drake does, really Drake and Wayne, compete with what Kendrick's gonna do? Because this is what I think. Kendrick's gonna put out another album. It will be wild. This would be the wildest thing, but do not put it past Kendrick that he drops his second album right after the Super Bowl. That would be bananas. That would be absolutely bananas if he drops that right after the Super Bowl performance, right? But Kendrick's coming out again. I think probably in like the summertime or something, or when the tour gets popping. But I think Kendrick's gonna drop again towards the end of the year. He's putting out 2 joints this year, I think. Similar to when GNX dropped, as like kind of like the new victory lap. You know, he's not gonna let this guy breathe. So the question is, can one Drake do anything to get back in the competition with Kendrick, with what Kendrick's gonna do? And what can Wayne do with Carter 6? That's another interesting angle.
Here's the thing. The thing is, and what people gotta understand, if Kendrick Lamar drops an album with SZA, it's a wrap for both of them. It's a wrap. He was to come out with an album with SZA on Valentine's Day, because I'm sure that they got an album together already. I'm sure they
That would
do.
be fire.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Every song that they do is epic, bro.
It's fire.
If they got a whole album together, it's a wrap, bro.
Yeah.
I do
That's
believe that he's going to come out with 2 projects this year, but I also believe that he has Drake in the palm of his hands. He can step on anything Drake does at this point. If Drake drops an album, Kendrick could literally drop an album. Be like, okay, I got you. Bam, drop an album. And he will step on anything Drake does, at least in America. Because at this point, and I know a lot of people hate Kendrick, but I will say a lot of people fear that man so much. A lot of artists. And I think that at this point, he's kind of Drake. He's kind of the evil Drake in a way, if you think about it, right? Because he's saying the same thing Drake is saying. I'm not working with none of y'all in the industry. I'm not working with y'all. Drake is saying the same thing. I'm not working with nobody no more. Yeah. And I think that this fight is going to go on for a while. But do I think that they can do something? I don't think they can do anything. I think he got them checkmated. Especially Drake. I don't know about Wayne. Like, it is what it is.
I'll get to Wayne in a minute. But
I don't know about Drake.
Like, here's the thing. Like, the Something Sexy songs for you, I'm guessing it's gonna do probably 250K the first week, 200K the first week, maybe. You know what I mean? it's gonna have some joints. The ladies are gonna be happy to have Drake back. But I think the next Kendrick project, and definitely if it's with SZA, I think that's gonna outperform and outsell GNX.
Yeah.
Actually, that's already platinum. But
Mm,
then it comes down to that rap album that Drake is going to drop and what he's going to say on there. And that's the interesting album right there. The next
yeah.
Drake solo, because I think Kendrick's going to drop something to counter that. And that's when it's going to get interesting. And that's going to be
Yeah.
around sometime this summer. And I
Yeah.
think, of course, with the Drake stands, the way they try and twist everything, I mean, they are like, I mean, Drake literally could have his own news network, seriously, to
Yeah.
spin his narratives any way he wants to go. I'm telling you, it's going to get interesting. It's going to be an interesting summer because I do think Drake is going to drop a rap album. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Um, Before I get back to Drake, because I know you're going to have some comments counter that or whatever. Carter 6 is interesting too, because this is the album that all of these Wayne stands and Wayne's fan base is coming to be like, oh, this is the one we're waiting for. But I'm just gonna be honest with you, man. Like, Wayne to me is like Kanye and Eminem and a lot of these guys from the 2000s that were the kings of that era. Your time is up. You know, like
mhm.
Wayne's last time on top was, let's be honest, 2011, right? And dog, that was 14 years ago. You know what I mean? I can't see you getting back to that level to compete with what Kendrick Lamar is doing now. Now, what I will say, I think Wayne is going to have some bars addressing Kendrick. And now that's the interesting part.
Mm,
Do they kind of go spar for spar? Maybe, bar for bar with some things. Because I know Wayne is a lyricist. He's going to have something to say to counter what was said on GNX.
yeah. I I agree. I agree. I think Wayne is definitely gonna the MC in him is not gonna let that go
Right.
easily. I
Yeah.
definitely think he's going to. Um if he ain't a bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care. You mention my name, I'm saying something. That's just how I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that as far as Carter 6 goes, I mean, I'm honest with you, I'm not really interested in Carter 6. I mean,
I'm not either. I'd
because
be pleasantly surprised if
yeah,
he puts out an album of the year type album.
yeah, I would be surprised too. And the reason why is because music has Kendrick Lamar, The Weeknd to me has elevated music. They
Uh-huh.
elevated hip hop and R&B or dark R&B, whatever you want to call a weekend. They have
Mhm.
elevated the music now. If you ain't making nothing better than that, I just don't think it's gonna be good. I
Mhm.
know people probably still like these guys or like these artists,
Yeah.
but I mean, sometimes I feel like when I'm listening to those two artists, I feel like they doing something like it's the last thing they will ever do. Some of these artists, I think they just do it just to do it. Like I'll give you an example, like the Baby's album, a Little Baby, not the Baby, Little
Little
Baby,
bit. Yeah.
the Wham album. Sound like something he did 5 years ago. It's like, come on, bro. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So that's why I said, unless he's trying to do something and he's trying to break some new ground, I don't really care if Wayne drops it, the Carter 6. I don't. You know what I'm saying? He has to me, he has to be trying to elevate his game. Like, and even with the Eminem album, right? I like the Eminem album, don't get me wrong. But to me, he still hasn't elevated his game. Eminem is top. He's top. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But to me, a lot of these guys, they're plateaued. I don't think Kendrick has hit that ceiling yet. I think
Oh yeah.
he's still going up. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel about a lot of these artists. I
It's
think they
like I said, like
level
they're
out.
tiers of this GOAT stuff. there are tiers of goats. You know,
Yeah.
there's Nas, Jay-Z, there's Biggie and Pop. I'd even throw Rakim in there because he was so ahead of the time in his 80s. And
Mm,
then there's like the Kanye. If you want to say Eminem, Eminem is probably a little bit ahead of them because he's so advanced lyrically. Then there's the Kanye, the Wayne, you know what I mean?
mm,
And they have been so inconsistent, you know, that like Wayne and Kanye, because Kanye's dropping too. It's like they've been doing it for so long. It's like, oh, they're coming out with an album again. All
mm,
right, okay.
yeah.
You know, I'll see what it is, but it's never going to be Carter 3. It's
Yeah.
never going to be Carter 2. We know, who are we kidding? Now he might have some moments because he's a lyricist, but it's probably going to be another mid joint. But what I'm interested in is I think he's going to have something for Kendrick, and it's going to
Mm.
turn some heads, and we're going to see what Kendrick has in response, which is going to make it interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I always revert back to, like, if we're gonna talk like that, we say Carter 2, Carter 3 was some of his best work, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Right? Kendrick, you got Good Kid, Mad City, Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, G and X. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
If you look at it, he's still going upward. You know what I'm saying? If you go
Yeah.
to the Weekend, it's the same thing with him. Beauty Behind the Madness, uh, Starboy, what's that? After Hours, Dawn FM, and Hurry Up Tomorrow. He's still going upward. A lot of these artists that I look at and I say to myself, Lil Wayne hasn't made anything.
He plateaued.
He plateaued. Drake, to me, plateaued all the way back. And if you're just reading this, it's too late. That's where the
I
great
agree
Drake
with
is
that.
at for me.
I
You know
think
what I'm saying?
so too. I think that was his high watermark was when he dissed Meek Mill.
Well, yeah.
After that, he's just been
After
such a
that,
mid artist.
he just been leveled out.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I listen to those two artists, and I listen to their previous work, and I say their previous work is better than their work now. The new artists' work now. Their old work is better than their work. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So it's like you ain't even reached that level yet. That's what I'm saying. Like, so I feel like the Carter 6 is just gonna be a regurgitated thing of the Carter 5 and the Carter 4, probably. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I could
He
see
might have a
that.
couple of joints on there.
I could. It might. Yeah, I could see it being better than Carter 5, but also a mix of mid like
Yeah.
Carter 4.
You
It
know
ain't, it
another
ain't
thing
gonna
too?
no. I'm gonna say let me say this way. It's gonna be some of the bangers of Carter 4, but it's gonna be more mid like Carter 5. It's gonna be mostly that, but it's still gonna be it's Wayne, so you're gonna get something. But it's
You
gonna
know,
be interesting what he says to address Kendrick. That's the only thing I think in that album you're
I
gonna get.
I want definitely want to see. You know another thing too that I think the reason why I'm saying this about the Carter 6 and Lil Wayne, I don't think Wayne understands. I don't think he understands music anymore. I don't think Wayne is pushing the envelope
He's not
like
in
he did
touch.
with Carter
He's
2. You know
not
what
in
I'm
touch,
saying?
man.
I think he's out of touch. And I think that a lot of artists think that because of who they're legacy artists and people like them, that they're just gonna continue on just doing what they've been doing 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't work anymore. You know what I'm saying?
He's gonna have to have a change in his
Yeah,
entire, structure as to how he makes the album. See, Nas went totally left. He said, "All right, I did it this way for 20 odd years. Let me see what
mhm,
this Hit Boy dude is doing." And Hit Boy had him so sounding totally different. And
exactly.
then that he turned him into like Grammy level Nas,
Yeah,
where
exactly.
Nas made on a run about 4 or 5 albums that just straight was quality hip hop,
Yeah,
album of the year type hip hop. You see
yeah.
what I'm saying? I don't think Wayne is going to have that change. He's going to look at it like, I'm so loved. I can do what I'm doing. Just put out
Mhm,
some bangers and boom.
mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be very hard for any artist nowadays. And I say this, and I'm gonna keep saying this. Not Like Us is the marker.
Oh yeah,
If you're not gonna if you can't get to that level, I mean,
you
and it should
definitely
be that
are,
way.
man.
It
You
should be that way.
definitely are.
So
It's going to be interesting, bro. It's going to be interesting, but I kind of like it. You see the competition ramping up, but it's
mhm,
definitely going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with these Wayne and Drake projects that drop
yeah,
this year and see what could happen. But anyway, bro, thanks for joining
yeah,
tonight. Again, check out Torture Talk, Torture Chamber. Look him up on YouTube. I mean, he's absolutely crushing it with the reaction videos, hip hop reaction videos. There's also Torture Talk After Dark. Check that
mm,
out. And
mm,
definitely hip hop roundtable reviews. Like, share, subscribe. I mean, definitely share my videos. Tell me what you think. You know, Lil Wayne, Drake, are they going to compete with Kendrick? What do you think these projects are going to be? So definitely check this video out. And I will catch up with y'all real soon. All right. Y'all have a good night. All right. Peace.
yeah, man.